Well, I'm always excited. I can't help it. Hello, good evening. Or is it good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and maybe good night to a few of you. Welcome to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. Not tonight. It's Biz to Biz with Joy. Leaders, Leaving Legacies. My friends, it's always great to be with you. I'm looking at a notification here that just came through. It says, like this stream was deleted on Facebook. Ooh, we don't know why. Remove this destination from the stream, then re-add it. Okay, well, we'll have to do that at another time because we just move forward. And whatever it is, we'll find a way to correct it. Welcome to Biz with Joy, Leaders Leaving Legacies. I am Joy Ruffen, and the work that I do is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. It's all connected, it's all aligned, and it's all designed for you. And every week, what I've been coming to you here, oh my goodness, almost for over a year, more or less as a solo, because we started this because of the pandemic. And then because Leading Ladies was designed for women only, and I wanted men because I'm not a sexist. And yet it's turned out to be still individual because my concentration can really only be for one. So what I'm going to be doing, my friends, before I get going with what we're doing here tonight, as of next Tuesday, the 26th of September, I'm going to release and surrender Biz to Biz with Joy. Grow your business in style. Leaders leaving legacies, because I had something in mind that I've been sharing with you for quite a while that I was working on, really wanting to get it up to speed and bring it to you. And I alluded to it in some small ways, but without giving too much detail. And now I've decided that because of something that's happened that's really fantastic for me and the people that I'm with, I've decided to put this on the back burner just for a while. My intention at this point is until the end of the year, and then the beginning of the year, I want to really start this new format that I wanted. But for now, putting it on the back burner. So I'll be with you once again next Tuesday. And then Biz to Biz will be not laid to rest. It'll just be put way on the back burner for a while. So if you're here and you're here for the first time, welcome. It's always good to share time and space with you. It keeps telling me that my Facebook link is not connected. So I suppose I'll have to take this and do whatever I do with it to make sure that it shows up. And if I click on this, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to leave it for now. Oh, maybe I can do this. Let me just see something here. I'm always experimenting. No, that's not what I wanted. Alrighty, it went. So that said, we just move on. We keep going. My friends, this week, because I'm wrapping up pretty much here for now for this format, not putting it to rest, I thought we really talk about business to business bottom line. And what does it mean to you, to me, to all of us? Because whether you're working online or in corporate, bottom line, it is about business. But is that always about the mighty dollar? That has to be a part of it because your value and what you are worthy of and what you spent and invested a lot of time and dollars in yourself to bring that expertise to the table. You want to make sure that you're compensated. Yet, you want to make sure that there's a fairness involved. So when we talk about business to business bottom line, what does it mean to you? What does that bottom line mean to you? Because it's not always money for everyone. And one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is all the other options, not so much all, but some of the others that are available to you. Now, each and every week when I start out here of late, it seems almost about a year now, because of my love for quotes, I start off with several quotes and blend them into the topic title for the broadcast. So thinking that would be something that would be fitting for tonight, I have a couple here that I want to share with you. And most of these people that I'll be mentioning to you, a couple of them you'll know, and you'll know of them quite well because they are iconic and popular. I think one might still be here, maybe not. Let's go and see what it says. Because tonight we're talking about business is business bottom line. And what does that mean to you? One of the things that's come about here that's really, really prevalent for me is that everyone comes to the table with a different outlook and mindset about business and bottom line. So do you believe that we can all aspire to what we cannot see? Do you believe that all of us can aspire to what we cannot see? I leave you food for thought, because I think that's how we all evolve and grow. Here's a quote that is fitting for tonight's title. One is only happy in proportion as he makes others feel happy, and only useful as he contributes his influences for the finer callings in life. That was said by Milton S. Hershey. Now, most everybody knows about the Hershey candy bar. If you're not into history and keeping up to speed with a lot of the old, but yet the new, because it's still iconic and it's history and all of that, you'd be maybe not familiar with the name Milton S., the initial, and then Hershey. But Hershey candy bar, the chocolate, oh, everybody knows all over the world. But that's what he said. And of course he would put in there happy, because doesn't chocolate make everyone feel happy? Now, his bottom line was to create, I'm surmising somewhat, but I think I might be on point here, because he makes others feel happy and only useful as you contribute and influences others to the finer callings of life. Like he was talking about his chocolate bar, because it brings a lot of pleasure and a lot of enjoyment to many, many people, right? That said, the other one, and by the way, I don't forget, but I get carried away sometimes. If you're here for the first time and you're viewing it and you're coming aboard, then please make sure that you share out the video. We love it when you share, because sharing is love. And there's so many people who who might find this topic and this conversation rather interesting. So make sure you share out the video. Here's another one. Now, this one you'll love for different reasons, or maybe not. Not everyone loves the same thing and at the same time, maybe, and maybe not at all. But here's what someone said, and then I'll tell you the name later. He said, manage the top line, your strategy, your people, and your products, and the bottom line will follow. Now, I think that's beyond profound, because sometimes it doesn't work that way. I just did a beautiful workshop the other day on professional leadership development. And I have to tell you, all the different styles of leadership, it can blow you away. And most of us combine 1, 2, or 3 of them, but there's a one that's at the top. But when this was said by Steve Jobs, by the way, everybody, even if you love him or not, I had my friend say to me, that iPhone, it's a bunch of crap. I chuckled, because what can you say? That was his feeling. He was happy with his Android, and we leave it at that. I don't buy into that, but I'm not going to knock his opinion. That was his opinion. I'm not going to attempt to sell him on why I love the iPhone so much. But this was said by Steve Jobs, and it's so true. Anybody who's really in leadership and a pioneer and a trailblazer would know that this is true. Manage the top line. Keep the people that are at the top, who are working with you to create and produce, keep them happy. Voice your disagreements. Let them know, but do it in a way that doesn't take away their sense of who they are and a negative criticism. As my friend said the other day, no one likes criticism. You want feedback, but you want it delivered to you in a way that you can take it in and then work with it. So when Steve Jobs, when I read this, and this is what he said, I wasn't surprised. I always read the quote first, and then I look for the name. I wasn't surprised, because it's so true. And I think for many of us, we sometimes work that backwards, and not the way to go. So I thought that was interesting, because business is business, bottom line. But no one, my friends, and you know this as well as I do, or anyone else, you don't do anything alone. You need a team. I don't care what your gifts are, what your talent might be, how skillful you are, how brilliant, and all the other beautiful adjectives that we can add in. You need a team. We need a team. And that team, you're not going to be able to keep them always 100% plus happy all the time, but you want to make sure that they feel that they're contributing and they're worthy and you value them, just like the product or the service that you're giving out into the stratosphere. So I thought that was quite interesting. And my friends, when it comes to business and what it means to you, for many of us, because of this pandemic, I'm certainly in this grouping myself, and I'm doing it here and now, it really brought to our to the forefront. The need to change, to pivot, to transition from what you were doing, keeping that seed, but allowing it to grow and blossom in another way. So what does that call for? It calls for being able to reinvent, regenerate, revitalize, and probably reassess everything that you had so that you can get closer to what you want to blossom, to be of benefit and value to those that you're here to serve. And I think everyone, most everyone, has been or is in the process of doing that now, because we're beginning to see how this pandemic has, as much as you might feel that it set you back, it also gave you enough ammunition to move forward in a more deeply profound way that will be beneficial for you and the people that you serve. So I think that reinventing, reassessing, and all of that is very important if you are in business and that bottom line means something to you, whether it's dollars or whatever it might be. You have to have the money, but it's not always about the mighty old dollar. Can't ignore it though. And for many people who are working online, because the pandemic hit hard and heavy, and a lot of the new people who are coming in, it's like free. And a lot of people starting a lot of what people have been doing for a while, and they're giving it away for free. It put a little dent there, but you have to stay with what serves you. That bottom line, what works for you. And let's get away from, especially in this business, working it's still pretty much in this box, even though we're all getting out more now, much more than we were a year ago. You still want to keep your individuality and your wholeness and your uniqueness to you. That copy, compete, comparing, my goodness, we could see so much of that during this pandemic. People, that creativity gene, that bud that needs to be, sometimes it's put way on the back burner and people can't conceive and get their own creative juices going. So they look to everybody else. I think we all do it in different ways, and everybody does it with finesse and style when they're doing it in the right way that aligns with their creativity. And so many businesses, yet the bottom line and all hasn't changed that much. Whatever that bottom line is to you, it remains focused. Here's a marvel. Whether you agree or not, I think you'll like this one. And it was said by someone that I have a saying here. You've heard it. If you hear it for the first time, you haven't heard it, you're going to hear it now, and you're going to hopefully appreciate it for what it is. Because of all the varying reasons, which I'm not going to go into now, there's something that aligned me to say and use this all the time for different reasons. I'm a researcher at heart, and I like to dabble and approach and go in and play around with things. So I love, and I understand, and I have a deep appreciation for it. I call him Dr. Google, because you can go in there and research and find an answer and a solution. Might not always be on point and right, but to almost any and everything. And then there's Mr. and Mrs. YouTube, which we all go to. In fact, I'm thinking about doing something there, but we all go there from time to time to discover and to find and to see. And then this is the one I'm bringing up now, Mr. Amazon. Hubby and I love Mr. Amazon. We know that a lot of people in business say, oh, they're too big, they're a giant now, and all the other personal stuff, which we just leave at the door because that's not our concern. We look to the person. And here's what someone that you know had to say. He said, above all else, align with customers. When they win only when they win. And that was said by, guess who? Jeff. I think it's Bezos, the Amazon giant. He and his wife, I don't get into personal stuff, separated when there was a big woo-ha about that. Okay. But that's what he said, because it's true. Above all else, align with your customers. When they win only when they win. That's very, very profound, because that's what it's about. And along with that, I put this one because this one fits, and you'll know this person too. He said, we don't build a business. You build people. Then people build the business. That was said by none other than the great Zig Ziglar. People have opinions, and it ought to be, it should be, or you're invited to have your own, as my friend would say. But you can't deny success if you can, and sometimes you can't erase all the stuff that comes with it, and people dealt with it and didn't do it well. But when people when I look to Walmart and Amazon and Wawa and this Zig and so many others, you have to give kudos to where they belong, because they built giant businesses, and they built it because of that trailblazing pioneer spirit that they had. And the business bottom line for them was a combination of the things that I shared with you that these 3 or 4 people that I mentioned to you had to say. And there's so many ways to interpret the bottom line. It will always come back to one's net income. You can't deny that. But some people, it happens within a 3 to 5 year period. Some people, it happens within a 5 to 10, depending. I think if you go back and you look at some of these giants that we look to and applaud now, commend them for all the different reasons, I think you find that their bottom line wasn't what you thought it was initially, the first few years and so on, starting out. So patience is needed there. So when I say Dr. Google, Mr. and Mrs. YouTube, and Mr. Amazon, I'm giving kudos to them, because a lot of people say, oh, Google is always opinionated. All of us, we all have our opinions. But your best bet, like when my friend said to me, oh, that Apple products, they're garbage, is the word he used. It was his opinion. I don't agree with it, but I don't have to tell him that I don't have to agree with it. I just said, let it go. This is the same for business. Bottom line, what's important to you? How are you going to be original and creative and unique in what you're doing and how you're delivering whatever service it is to the people that you're there to serve? And if you are a manifesting generator, as I am, and by the way, I have a freebie here for you. And if you're not familiar with it, it's about human design. I so celebrate this cosmic platform for all the reasons, because when I tell you that it has no religion or faith or belief, it's four ancient traditions that we bring to you. I'm digressing a wee bit, but that's okay. We're talking about the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, and the Hindu chakra system. What else is it? The Chinese I Ching and Western astrology. For those who are gung-ho and adamant, not pursuing anything beyond whatever that higher source is for them, I say bless you, and I leave it at that. But if you really want to get into the beginning seeds of knowing who you are, why you're here, and what's the best avenues for you to travel, you can't beat this Designing You. And I did my research. Believe me, I looked at them all. I did a lot. One of the things I was waiting and praying to do, it just said to me, not now, soon. So I'm putting this biz to biz, because this biz to biz was what I was going to turn into what I wanted to do with the spiritual realm. But that said, you can't go wrong with this. And I guess I should put up the link here for you. This link, take a screenshot or a snapshot, and you'll be amazed at the information. It can be, for some, as it was for me initially, a little convoluted, and you might think, oh, it's too much, but give yourself some grace, because believe me, I've been around the block a lot of times, and I can tell you that this is the best of the best. And the other thing, while I'm on this, I might as well tell you, if you are not a member of my Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies Facebook group, do join, because as I said, next Tuesday, I'm ending with biz for now, not shutting it down or cutting it out. But I will continue with Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, and you belong there. There's so much there for you, and to connect with all the other beautiful leading ladies that are there. So make sure you take a screenshot or a snapshot and go there. And when I say again, as I said before, when I talk about, I always say Dr. Google. That's just my thing. Mr. and Mrs. YouTube and Mr. Amazon. These are giants. what's bigger than giants? They are just humongous. So why not give them the kudos? You can get and go into all the deep psychological, personal. You can go into their moral compass and what. That's okay. We're talking business. And business, I think these three, however you want to dice and slice them up, I think they've done a darn good job. And the reason that I'm bringing them to you is because when you get into your own research and reinventing and revamping and reassessing everything that you've done, if it's that time for you, it is and was for me, which I'm in the process of now, then you will go here and do all that you have to do to get the answers that you need. Because there's no shame, no blame, and no regrets, because that's how you grow. I started off saying to you that I'm a manifesting generator. It only took me after human design and getting my chart and reading that I used to feel so guilty because I like to dabble. I like to play. Over here, over there, bounce back. That's just my DNA. And I used to feel so guilty because people would say, ooh, as I was beginning to discover and explore and find me. Now, some people do one thing and do it darn well. Some people do two. Some people do maybe more. But when you're able to bring it all together and keep it professional and keep it organized and orchestrated, kudos to you, whatever that is. And when you discover who and what this designing you is all about, you'll have fun with that too. But my friends, it all starts with this. Business is business, bottom line. But the bottom line is that if you're going to find your success and get in the right lane for you and do the things that you need to bring you closer to the people that you serve, then you're going to want to. I end and add this into every week and everything that I do because it's been my journey. You're going to need to begin with your own emotional healing, security, and intelligence, whatever that means to you. It means finding and discovering you. And one of the reasons that I brought human design here, it's not a dig, it's not a negative. I'm not knocking anyone, but I see. Even with these great big glasses and one eye that doesn't work so well, I see very well, and I feel, and I know that a lot of us are tap dancing out here. We are. We have to be honest with ourselves and know ourselves and know who we are. And you can't do that and build anything that's going to give you a sense of being contributing to others' ability to enable themselves, to help them to stand taller, to speak, to be skilled at whatever it is that you're doing, sales, marketing, style, speech, whatever it might be. We need to first off be honest with ourselves about what we're missing and what we're lacking, and then go out and find it. Find someone that you can connect with who will support you in your own discovery, your own exploration of you. That's what will bring you the best success, lasting success. You know that I love the word legacy. You want to leave your legacy, not only to the people who are in your close circle, but people all around. We're international now, we're global, but me, you, all of us in business, we don't just stay in our little hamlet, our little circle. We go everywhere, and you touch base with people all over the world. And that's how it was designed. That's how it was meant to be. And we're moving more and more into that. And here's something that I want to leave you with, because we're talking about business and bottom line. There are so many of us, not me, and as my momsy would say, I pray not you, have gone completely off the rails. Completely off the rails. Because when you're talking business and bottom line, business to business to business, we're not always talking about money. We're not always talking about fame. We're not always talking about power. We're always not talking about somebody who is good looking in all the different ways, body, boom, 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 and perfect. We're talking about you and me, all of us, finding our way to be all that we're here to be and be the channel that enables others to find their way. That's what success is all about. There are a lot of people, we all know them. We've all been there. They're not, I love the self, S-E-L-F, F as in Frank, because the selves, self-love, self-awareness, self-care, self-control, self-confidence, self-assured, self-made. They all apply to us. And so many people who have the fame, the money, and all that other stuff, they never got enough they never received or took in enough of their own sense of who they were. They gave us a lot. And I'm not going to even mention the name. I mention her every time because I love this woman so much, because I thought her voice just did something for me, but she couldn't get her own self together. And there's so many others. There's so many others. Why do we have to leave the planet and then we read and hear all of this negative stuff about people? Why can't we be more about, this is where we're going, my friends. Why can't we discover more about the best of the best within ourselves and have that rise and ascend out and share that with others? Why does that moral compass within us have to be put on the back burner while we tap dance in things that we know aren't good for us? Why? I've always been a why person. Why? Well, these are the answers we have to find for ourselves. And this is what's happening now. We're entering into this new age, no matter what your preference might be as far as your faith or your belief, what higher source, where we need to know more about who we are and why we're here, or we're going to be left in the dust in this big collective that we're all a part of. And my friends, if ever, for women especially, and that's why I work predominantly with women, if ever leadership was needed, it's now. For women especially. Men have always had it, and they will always continue to have it. But those who are ready and those who are waking up, like you and like me, they're ready for a partner and an equal. And they'll be seeking you. They don't want a Barbie doll. Nothing wrong with a Barbie doll, but let's keep everything in perspective. And once you begin to do that, you become aware of your own greatness, your own power, and you don't have to hide it in the closet, whatever it might be. Be the best you. That's what your business is going to be asking of you. And so what does it mean to you to be the best of the best at what you're doing? Just find your way. Find your creativity. Find the gift that you came here with and develop it, master it, and then give it away in a business, because you only want people who are going to invest in themselves. There are people running around just wanting everything for free. They're not going anywhere, and they're not going to get anywhere. Ultimately, you have to make the investment in you. We all do. I could tell you stories that you would begin to cry. You say, well, well, everything takes time, and it takes a lot of time, good time. But make the investment in you so you can know and be honest with you. I see so many parading, pretending, masquerading. That doesn't compute anymore. And sooner or later, you're going to pay the piper, the pope, or whoever he or she might be. Be the best you. Learn, get all the seeds of knowing who you are and blossom in your style, your way, your fashion. You know, even though my work is as a signature style specialist, a leadership consultant, style comes into everything. Everything that you do has to have your flavor, flair, and flow. That's your style. And rather than scale down, scale up, rise. People need to not look up to you and put you on a pedestal. That's dangerous. But people need to look up to see something that they can aspire to. And if you're running around looking like a vagabond, that's nothing. And there's a lot more to be said about that. Just remember that your business is an extension of you, a big extension of you, and you allow it to be so. My friends, it's time to go again. I don't know. It happens every time. I'm sending you much, much love from my heart to yours. Embrace it. And join me tomorrow night. Oh, my goodness. Such a lovely lady I'm going to be sharing with you. Very much in the spiritual realm. And we are going to have some fun and educate and enlighten in the best way. You be and stay well. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, whatever it might be. And I look forward to joining you again soon, like tomorrow night. So long for now. Cheers. Much love.